It was almost 3 a.m. when Sarah finally left the diner where she worked the night shift. Chicago streets were nearly deserted, the silence broken only by the occasional sound of a passing train or the wind pushing litter across the sidewalk. Her sneakers tapped against the pavement, echoing louder than she liked in the empty night. Her car was parked a block away. As she walked, her eyes kept drifting to the shadows between the street lamps. She wasn't usually afraid, working nights had become her routine, but something about this night felt heavier, colder, as though the city itself was holding its breath. Halfway down the block, Sarah noticed it, a black SUV crawling slowly behind her. Its headlights were off, the tires whispering against the asphalt. A knot tightened in her chest. Maybe it's just someone who lives here, she thought. Maybe I'm imagining things. But when she quickened her pace, the SUV matched her speed. Her pulse hammered in her ears. Reaching her car, she pulled the keys from her pocket with shaking hands. Before she could unlock the door, the SUV stopped directly across from her. The driver's side window rolled down just enough for a voice to slide out. "Do you need a ride?" The man's voice was low, calm, too calm. His silhouette was hard to make out, but she could feel his eyes on her. Sarah forced a weak smile. "No, thank you. I'm fine." The man didn't leave. His car idled, the rumbling engine filling the silence of the street. After a long pause, he added, "It's not safe to walk alone at this hour." Her gut screamed at her. She yanked open her car door, slipped inside, and slammed the lock down. Her breaths came fast, shallow. She started her car, headlights cutting through the darkness. Pulling away from the curb, she glanced in the mirror. The SUV pulled out too. Sarah's hands clenched the steering wheel. She turned right. The SUV turned right. She accelerated. So did he. Every corner, every curve, he followed. The streets that had always felt familiar now twisted into a maze of danger. Her mind raced. Where could she go? What if he forced her off the road? Then she saw it, a gas station glowing like a lighthouse in the dark. She swerved into the lot and parked directly under the blinding fluorescent lights. The SUV slowed but didn't pull in. Instead, it idled across the street, headlights still off. Watching. Sarah bolted inside. The clerk, a middle-aged man sipping coffee, looked startled as she rushed to the counter. "Please," she gasped, "call the police. Someone's following me." He grabbed the phone immediately, eyes flicking nervously toward the glass windows. Outside, the SUV sat motionless, engine purring like a predator waiting in the shadows. Minutes felt like hours before the flashing blue lights of a patrol car pulled in. The SUV roared away into the night. Sarah's knees went weak with relief, but her heart still thudded violently. The officers took her statement, nodding as she described every detail she could remember. No plates. No clear face. Only the voice. By the time she left the gas station, the city was beginning to lighten with the first hint of dawn. But Sarah couldn't shake the thought that she hadn't escaped. Not really. Because in her gut, she felt that whoever was in that SUV wasn't finished. Sarah reached her apartment just before sunrise. She locked the door behind her, double-checking every bolt, every window latch. The silence of her small living room wrapped around her, but instead of comfort, it pressed down like a weight. She dropped her keys on the counter, sat on the couch, and tried to breathe. "It's over," she told herself. The police scared him off. "You're safe now." But safe didn't feel like the right word. Her nerves buzzed, every creak of the building making her flinch. Hours passed, daylight filling the room, yet the unease clung to her like a shadow. Finally, exhausted, she drifted into a restless sleep. When she woke, the sun was already sliding low in the sky. The first thing she noticed was the silence. No city noise, no hum of neighbors above. Just silence. Then she saw it. On her coffee table lay a folded piece of paper. She hadn't left it there. She hadn't left anything there. Her stomach turned cold. She reached for it, fingers trembling. The paper was thick, old, creased as though handled many times before. She unfolded it slowly, her eyes scanning the jagged handwriting carved across the page. You can run from the road. You can't run from the knock. Her chest tightened. A chill swept through her bones. She dropped the note as if it burned her. And then, from the door, came 3 slow knocks. Sarah froze, her breath caught in her throat. Each knock reverberated through the apartment, heavy and deliberate. Her phone slipped from her hand to the floor, the screen lighting up uselessly. No, she whispered, shaking her head. No, no, no. She backed away toward the kitchen, heart pounding so hard it hurt. The knocks stopped. Silence filled the air, thicker than before. Then she heard footsteps. Not outside. Inside. Her blood turned to ice. Slowly, she turned toward the hallway leading to her bedroom. The air seemed darker there, heavier. Shadows rippled along the walls though nothing moved. Who's there? She tried to call, but her voice cracked, barely more than a whisper. No answer. Only the faint sound of breathing. She reached for the drawer where she kept a kitchen knife, gripping it so tightly her knuckles went white. She wanted to run, but her legs felt rooted to the floor. And then she saw it. From her bedroom door, the figure emerged. Tall. Faceless. Its body a shifting shadow darker than the dark around it. It moved without sound, without weight, as though it were smoke taking human form. The note's words rang in her ears, "You can't run from the knock." Sarah's scream never came. The room plunged into suffocating darkness, swallowing her voice, her breath, her body. When neighbors later reported her missing, the apartment showed no signs of struggle. Only one thing lay on the coffee table, that same folded note, the handwriting unchanged. The lesson Sarah's story leaves behind is chilling yet clear. Sometimes, instincts are the only shield we have. Ignore them, and you may open a door that should have stayed closed forever.